Better Country 101.7 The Bull. Good stuff from Zach Brown Band. That is Same Boat. We are rolling past 9 o'clock on this Thursday. My name's Wyatt, and we are actually joined by a special guest here on this Thursday. Now, April is a special month for some in this regard. It is National Donate Life Month, which Dawn from the Great River Health is joining us. She is the Director of Critical Care Services, and she's kind enough to come on in here and talk a little bit more about National Donate Life Month. Dawn, good to have you with us here this morning. How are you?
I am good. Thank you.
It's good to have you with us here this morning. Let's talk a little bit here about National Donate Life Month. What are we talking about when we talk about Donate Life? That sounds like a very broad statement here, but what are we talking about when we talk about Donate Life Month?
Yes, Donate Life, it was established to help raise awareness about donation, encourage Americans to register as organ, eye, and tissue donors, and really to honor those that have saved lives through organ donation and their families.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So that is April's a month that you guys highlight that at Great River Health and many other great health establishments throughout the country. So, Darren sent me some notes here. It says at any given time, there's more than 100,000 patients who are waiting for organ. I've got a family member who's actually on a list. She's looking for, I can't remember if it's a liver or something like that. So what's kind of that process for the patient? How do they end up getting put on this list, and what's the process like for that patient?
Well, the patients are seen by their physicians, and they're determined that, the only way to survive is through organ donation. In Iowa, they work with Iowa Donor Network, and they're put on a list from there, and the families and the patient continue to work through Iowa Donor Network.
And that is a pretty extensive list there. What kind of organs are we talking about? Like, what kind of things are people looking for that get put on this list? It's not all one thing. What kind of organs are they kind of looking for?
Oh, everything really. Heart, lungs, liver, kidney. Those are the major organs that
are commonly looked for on that list. We're talking to Dawn. She's the Director of Critical Care Services at Great River Health, joining us here this morning, talking a little bit about National Donate Life Month here. That is the month of April. So if somebody is interested then in this organ donation, how do they go about that with you guys?
Well, definitely everyone can sign up when they get their driver's license or renew their driver's license. Otherwise, you can go to iowadonornetwork.org and you can sign up there to be a donor.
I think a lot of people forget about that when you're getting your driver's license. It's just isn't it just signing the back of your driver's license?
It is.
That's all it is.
Yep. And, when I've gotten my driver's license, they ask me every time. So I know that they ask people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they do. And that's something to consider then. It's obviously just something, it's as easy as that, but obviously you want to put some thought into it. What's kind of that process like for a donor then? I mean, obviously certain organs you can't obviously do when the person's alive or anything like that, but what's kind of that process like then for a donor?
They're going to work through the Iowa Donor Network.
Okay.
And, there's testing just to see if you're a match. Kidneys and parts of your liver are two of the most common things that you can donate. And they just continue to work with physicians and the Iowa Donor Network for testing and to see if they're matches. So then after, say after a donor passes away, then they end up, if they're the donors, they still, as long as they pass all those tests, then they go in and they kind of they are able to use those organs then? Well, not if they pass, naturally,
right?
Then no. But one of the things that we do in ICU is patients come in and they're on ventilators, on life support, and we refer them to Iowa Donor Network, and they work with the family, and those are the organs that can be donated.
We're talking to Dawn. She's from Great River Health, joining us, the Director of Critical Care Services here. One more thing really here before we let you go here. If somebody's out there listening is like, I've always thought about that, but I may have these certain questions or concerns, because obviously there's a lot of questions surrounding it. What's the best way to go about getting a hold of you guys here and talking about this subject maybe a little bit more?
Definitely getting on iowadonornetwork.org. You can work through them, and they are willing to answer any questions and to work with people who want to be donors and help them out throughout the process.
It's been nice talking to you here, Dawn. Dawn, again, from Great River Health, joining us. And anything else you want to add before we let you go, maybe that we missed or you wanted to cover here while you're chatting with us this morning?
I Not that I can think of. Just it is an amazing part of life, and like you know people who need it. I've known people who've been donors and have received organ donation and tissue donation, and it's something that it's miraculously, it can extend lives for people and their families.
It sure can. April is National Donate Life Month, so consider being an organ donor and you can talk to Don, you can talk to the folks there at Great River Health, and they'd be happy to possibly set you guys up there. Don, thank you so much for stopping by, chatting with us here this morning. Very important topic, obviously, there, so we appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Well, it's been good chatting with her here this morning. We're going to get back into it here this morning. More music on the way from Mitchell Tenpenny. We got a little Tyler Hubbard lined up for you next, right after Rascal Flatts. Back to 2004, 20 years ago. Bless the Broken Road on the Bull.